In 2026, Suzuki takes a bold step into the past with the revival of an icon, and the Suzuki T350. A bike that once roared through the streets in the early 70s now returns, reimagined for a new generation of riders. The 2026 Suzuki T350 is a tribute to the golden era of two-stroke motorcycles, yet it arrives with updated engineering, modern tech, and a nostalgic design that hits all the right notes for enthusiasts, collectors, and everyday riders alike. Let's dive into what makes this machine so special. At the core of the new T350 is a finely tuned 348cc twin-cylinder engine. Unlike the original two-stroke that made the T350 famous, Suzuki has opted for a modern four-stroke liquid-cooled parallel twin this time around, to comply with today's emission standards while still delivering that raw, spirited riding experience. The engine churns out approximately 36 horsepower at 9,000 revolutions per minute and 28 Nm of torque at around 7,000 revolutions per minute, giving the bike a brisk, rev-happy character ideal for twisty roads and spirited weekend rides. It's mated to a slick 6-speed gearbox with a slipper clutch for smoother downshifts and reduced rear wheel hop, perfect for those who like to push their bike in the corners. The exhaust note, tuned to mimic the original's signature crackle, brings a smile every time you twist the throttle. Suzuki even added dual upswept chrome exhausts as a direct nod to the vintage model, giving the bike not just performance but unmistakable presence on the road. Performance-wise, the new T350 strikes a great balance between retro fun and modern practicality. It has a curb weight of around 165 kilograms, making it light and agile through city traffic and canyon roads alike. The chassis is a classic double cradle steel frame with revised geometry for better cornering stability and feedback. With a top speed nearing 170 km per hour, around 105 miles per hour, this bike isn't just about looks, it can move when you want it to. Suspension comes in the form of 41mm telescopic front forks and twin adjustable rear shocks. Suzuki didn't go overboard with high-end hardware here, opting instead for a retro-correct setup that keeps the riding experience authentic, yet surprisingly comfortable. Braking is handled by a single 310mm front disc and a 240mm rear disc, paired with a dual-channel ABS system that ensures safe and controlled stops in all conditions. But where the T350 truly makes a statement is in its design. The visual appeal is undeniably classic, a blend of vintage lines with modern execution. The rounded fuel tank, polished side panels, chrome fenders, and spoked wheels all harken back to the 1970s era. The tank features a bold retro Suzuki logo and comes in striking colorways like candy orange, metallic navy, and classic pearl white. All finishes are deep, rich, and lacquered to perfection, giving the bike a showpiece feel. The round LED headlamp, bullet-style indicators, and slim tail light all blend classic aesthetics with modern technology. Even the instrument cluster strikes a perfect balance, a dual analog-style speedometer and tachometer setup with a small LCD inset for fuel, trip, and gear info. It keeps the cockpit clean, stylish, and easy to read. Comfort and ergonomics are right on the mark for a retro standard. The flat bench style seat is plush enough for short tours, and the upright handlebar position makes the T350 suitable for both commuting and weekend rides. Seat height is accessible at 790mm, making it approachable for a wide range of riders. The foot pegs are mid-set, offering a neutral riding position that's ideal for everyday usability. Title: 2026 Suzuki T350 Review. A classic soul, modern power. Description: take a deep dive into the 2026 Suzuki T350, a retro-inspired motorcycle that blends classic design with modern performance. In this full review, we cover everything from its 348cc parallel twin engine and vintage aesthetics to updated tech, ride quality, and price point. Whether you're a fan of Suzuki's heritage or looking for a unique, stylish everyday ride, the T350 brings back the charm of the A70s with 2026 engineering. Watch now to see why the new T350 is more than just a comeback. It's a statement, only on BikeNext. Covertitle 1. 2026 Suzuki T350 as a retro comeback we needed. 2. Classic Reborn, Suzuki T350 2026 Full Review. 3. The return of a legend. A 2026 Suzuki T350 revealed. 4. Is this the coolest retro bike of 2026? Suzuki T355. Suzuki nails it. 2026 T350 Review and Ride. 6. Modern performance, vintage vibes. A Suzuki T357. Watch before you ride. 2026 Suzuki T350 Breakdown. Here are the top 15 keywords for the 2026 Suzuki T350 video. 8. The T350 is back, Suzuki's Retro Beast Reviewed. 9. Why everyone's talking about the 2026 Suzuki T350. 10. Ride the past, powered by today. A 2026 Suzuki T350. Keyword 1. 2026 Suzuki T352. Suzuki T350 Review 3. Retro Motorcycle 2026 4, Suzuki T350 Specs 5. Modern Classic Motorcycle 6, Suzuki T350 Top Speed 7, Suzuki T350 Price 8. Vintage Style Bike 2026 9, Suzuki Retro Bike 10. Beginner Friendly Motorcycle 11, Suzuki T350 Exhaust Sound 12. T350 vs Yamaha XSR 13. Classic Twin Cylinder Bike 14. Lightweight Street Motorcycle 15. Best Retro Motorcycle 2026. Hashtags 1, Suzuki T352, Retro Motorcycle 3, Modern Classic 4, BikeNext Review 5, Motorcycle 2026.